welcome back to Me Time with Ruby, and I'm on the sofa again with Charlotte. Yes, so exciting news. Boris let us know on Monday that we could open next Monday, so we're really excited and really looking forward to it. I am absolutely thrilled. This lockdown seems to have been so much longer than the one before.
Yes.
I think it really does for me. We haven't opened our doors since Christmas Eve.
Well, no, Christmas Eve was it, wasn't it? That was switch off.
And post-Easter. I mean, it's unbelievable.
The time, it's funny, it's one of those things where the time has kind of flown by because you think, oh, Christmas Eve, but actually, it really hasn't, has it? It's dragged. It's been a sort of slightly odd time zone we've been in.
I don't know if it is because it's obviously winter and maybe that always seems longer, the days seem longer because it's darker. I don't know, but it just, I'm just so relieved to be open.
Well, everyone I've spoken to has said that, that the time seems to have kind of been a bit skew with.
I mean, obviously still got to cover, adhere to all the rules and COVID regulations. And
will that be the same as last time? Masks, hand gels,
Which actually we were talking about, and I'm okay to wear masks going into shops and things, but as soon as I come out I do take it off, and the thought of working for 8 hours a day with a mask on.
Yes.
I know I'm not the only one. I think, I don't know how the medical profession do it.
Oh, it's
unbelievable. PPE, head to
all
toe.
of it,
So I kind of keep trying to remind myself that I'm actually quite fortunate. But it is difficult, especially when you wear glasses too, because I wear glasses for reading and they steam up. And
well, I saw a tip the other day that if you get a piece of the kitchen paper or something like that and sort of stick it to the top of your mask inside, it kind of catches the moisture of your breath. So just a little bit of paper stuck to the top of your mask over your nose. They'll look very elegant. Yes. Put a toilet roll.
I've done that on the back of my shoes before now, and it's like, what's that on the floor? I've been the toilet.
No, it's on your face. Oh, elegant.
So I guess for you've had the children, just thinking, you've had a routine, then they're off again for several months, they've just gone back to routine again, and now they're off for Easter holidays.
It's been backwards and forwards, and I'm sure every mother out there and father out there is going, oh, just had them back to school. Just had a free day and some 5 minutes to ourselves. But I think it's been so good for them to have got back to school and to have sort of got back into a little bit of normality. And then they were kind of ready for a holiday. Somehow they were so exhausted after 4 weeks.
Holiday.
I know. Oh,
well,
I think
actually they have been homeschooling.
I don't know if that made a difference really, because genuinely both my kids, they were 10 and 4, they were both absolutely exhausted by the last week of term, and I thought, well, what if you'd had been at school since Christmas? But something, I think it's affected us all mentally one way or another, hasn't it? Even the children. So
I've had lots of messages from customers really desperate to come out. I know there's been a lot of talk over recent years about the way to go's online, and people moving away from the high street, and I've always maintained I'm not convinced in that. I don't know if it's a generation thing, I don't want to stereotype, but for me, going to a shop, I mean, I do buy things online, but for me, you can't beat going to a shop, and especially coming to Ruby Lala and the experience that you have here. But,
it's like what I said to you just now. I've walked in here, I'm like, I want to go shopping now. Just pretty things, and you can touch them, and you can actually sort of put them up to yourself, and it's so lovely. You just can't do that now. It's not the same swiping through.
And it's like we had some new jackets come in this week, and I was saying, I showed them on the live, because we do a live every Thursday at 7 o'clock, and I showed them, and half of the sale or the quality of the jackets is the feel of them. Absolutely. They feel so gorgeous. I think you were just reading them saying they're great for vegans, and they're not actually real leather, but to look at them,
they look
and
like
feel,
and
they're so gorgeous. But obviously great for vegans. And it's just that sort of thing of people still do want to come out. I think people do, and they're
especially
desperate.
now.
Customers are messaging me saying, I'll be in Monday afternoon. I'm working Monday morning, but I'll be in Monday afternoon.
So nice. Isn't it?
And I actually feel quite emotional because I've really missed the customers. I really have. I've really got to know a lot of them.
You provide a service to people. A lot of people who either live on their own or are kind of on their own a lot while their partner's at work or whatever. You kind of provide a nice place to come and somewhere that's friendly and with lovely things and a cup of coffee. I don't know if you can do that at the moment, but pre-COVID, cup of coffee, and it's a little hub for people to come to. I think people really, really miss that. So.
I'm actually also quite pleased that next month, May, will be our second year birthday. I mean, how we've managed to get here after all that's been thrown at us, I have no idea, but we've done it. And I was thinking about trying to mark the occasion.
Yes.
So watch this space.
Well, yeah, and send in ideas. What can we do?
We can have an idea competition.
Yes,
or something.
I love
That'd
that.
be really good. I mean, obviously we're going to be restricted COVID-wise, but I did think of, certainly something going on outside the shop. I think it's something to really celebrate.
Absolutely.
I don't think we do that enough these days.
Well, people are too humble.
Well,
I'm not being
people
funny.
write-
You've done 2 years.
Well, people are quite keen, aren't they, to write a complaint letter, but how often do we find ourselves saying thank you? And maybe you do. If you do, great. I'm not saying that, but I just feel some of that is lacking.
Yes, yeah. And I think at the moment we need that. We need something to celebrate.
Yeah.
And even if it's someone else's celebration, you want to say thank you for the support, and you want people to celebrate with you.
Yeah.
That's such a nice idea.
I think we need to get, we need to absorb good stuff.
Yes.
And that helps us get over the stuff that isn't so good. So, it's a bit like the sun, really. Vitamin D. You have to sort of internalise it.
Absolutely.
To be able to
It's
then-
finding the little joys of
Yeah,
things, isn't it?
yeah.
And I think, 2 years is something to be joyful about, especially with all the COVID that we've gone through. It's incredible.
Yeah. So Ruby Lala, 18th of May, we will be 2 years old. So
Oh, it's my birthday on the 17th.
Is it? Mine on the 10th actually.
Oh wow! We can have
Oh, triple birthday
yes, triple celebration.
Yeah. I'm not saying how old I am. So watch
21
this space.
again.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I think that was partly what we were going to talk about this week, wasn't it? It's just sort of the simple things in life. I don't know if that's how you would describe it, but
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing, I think, sort of coming out the other side, the fact that we've had a bit of sunshine. We've been
back
able
to
put-
winter stuff.
Well,
it's been snowing this
we
week.
had to be
Flip-flops
able to
for
put-
last week and boots back on again this week.
I was
I noticed
lying.
you've got your boots.
Yeah, I've got my boots. I was lying in a bikini on Sunday. I mean, bikini top, not bottom, but yeah. And then now I'm in boots. It's the craziest thing. But it's just been one of those things where just having a bit of sunshine, being able to put a bikini on, it's the little things. And I think during lockdown, the little things were things like, going for a walk outside, even if it was freezing, just going out, getting some fresh air, saying hello to a neighbour and having a little chat, social distance chat. And it's finding the sort of happiness and the joy in those things that I think have kind of become almost like our everyday things. We don't even notice them anymore. And one of the things I mentioned in the blog was the apron that you've got. Your little tropical apron.
I've got this apron. I really love it.
And I have never been an apron person. And I think I say, in the writing that I always kind of thought it was a bit of a sort of throwback to your grandma kind of thing. But I've done a lot of baking over lockdown, and I think a lot of people have. We've all suddenly discovered, soda bread and banana loaves and all these things, and I was ruining my clothes every time because you forget you're covered in things and you just wipe it, because I am a child. I'm a child at heart. I just wipe it on myself. Having an apron has literally saved all my washing.
You don't possess an apron, is that what you're trying to say?
I do now. Yeah, I do now, because for that reason I was like, I'm ruining all my clothes, and now I love it so much because I use it for everything. I use it like if I'm cleaning, if I'm doing the washing. I've got all my husband's dirty clothes and all the kids' clothes that are covered in paint or whatever. I just put my apron on for everything now because it's lovely, and also it saves on washing. So that's
That's true. Yeah, I guess you do have to wash the apron at some point.
Yeah, but I'd rather wash one apron than all of my clothes constantly.
Yeah. So we were talking about this as well last week's meantime with Ruby, weren't we, about trying to sort of not wash your clothes quite as much and things like that. So
Absolutely. Yeah, sustainable.
I know. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, what I really love about this apron is because I do wear an apron always when I'm cooking, because I manage to get it all over me. And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, no, I'll be really careful, but I'll flick some bit of curry sauce at me or something. What I love about this is what I'm always doing. I don't know if it's just a thing, but when I get my hands dirty, I do wash them quite regularly while I'm cooking. And I must go through about 3 tea towels when I'm cooking
Yeah.
something, a cake
Yeah.
or something like that. This has got the toweling bit
Is
side,
that what that's
and you just
for?
rub it. So when it's on,
Yes. I thought it was just a pattern.
no, it's brilliant because when it's on, I won't tie it all up now because it'll take me a minute now. But it's great because rather than use it, you just try it on.
That's exactly what I need.
So you've
when
got
I'm
your little
wiping
pocket.
all over
I'm not quite sure
myself.
what you put in a pocket when you're cooking.
Your fork to try things.
Oh, okay, right, okay, yeah. Mobile phone, I'll probably put
Yeah,
my mobile phone
yes.
in there actually. But yeah, these bits are great because the position of them is exactly when you go like that, like you just went like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you
I
do.
had
with
not
it.
realised what that was.
So
for.
that is why I absolutely love this apron. And I have one hanging in my kitchen.
And then
I
that
wear it
saves
all
you
the
on
time.
washing towels as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Genius.
But it's brilliant and it's in the right position and everything. So yeah, so I do love the apron. It's surprising how much you can say about an apron actually.
I'm very shocked at how long we've just talked about this apron. Have we finished yet?
But yeah, if you haven't got an apron, these
Yeah.
are definitely the ones.
And I mean, what person doesn't get joy from a cake that they've just baked? You know, whack your apron on, bake a cake, everyone's happy.
I've got about 6 frozen banana loaves in my freezer actually because I like.
Everyone just got into it, didn't
When I
they?
was cooking one, I thought I might as well cook 3.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If you're going to
Yeah.
cook one, you might as well do 3.
Just
It's
sit
three
there with your
different ones.
cake, and your lovely flamingo cup, and your lovely flamingo.
Yeah, lots of people like flamingos. And I was wondering the other day, and I'm going to now embarrass myself because I can't remember the facts, but I was reading about flamingos, and there is something about them as to why, I don't know if they're calming or something. There's lots of things about flamingos that why people love flamingos.
When I've been to Birdworld,
I can't
here,
remember for the life of me what they
I
are.
can watch them for so long.
Mm.
I think it's their weird bendy legs. They bend the wrong way. I can't figure out how they're walking forwards when their legs are going backwards.
See, I love them because they're pink and pink is my
Yeah.
favourite colour.
And
But
that.
no, I think they represent a lot as well, and yeah, it's a bit like hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. I'll watch a hummingbird for ages. But yeah, so I'll try and look it up
Yeah.
and let you know next time.
Well,
But I did
actually-
happen to look it up because lots of things do have the thing.
They do. They're very popular, and actually, that's one of the things. Well, actually, funnily enough, you'd almost think we scripted this, but we haven't. Funnily enough, one of the other things I mentioned in the blog was the flamingo because I was talking about the toys. And actually, if you look around the shops now, the garden centres, all the places that sell these soft toys that are for adults,
Yeah, I was
for
going to
children,
say.
for adults.
Yeah.
The flamingo is a really popular one. The flamingo and the peacock, they're the two that I see all the time. And I mean, I don't quite know why it's those two. Whatever reason it is you just had, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I mean, these sort of soft toys that are kind of for adults, you know. And I would so happily have this little girl sat on my shelf. She's so pretty, isn't she?
She's absolutely
And
lovely.
yeah, this was another little one that I
Just
mentioned in my
wonderful,
blog. She just brings so much joy when you look at her. She's so
And those
sparkly.
finishing touches. I must hasten to add, as Charlotte's saying, it isn't actually chocolate because it's got the little bits on here. It's not actually recommended for children, but
So it's actually
it does hang up. So if you wanted to hang it in a child's room and reach
Yeah, and it comes
It
in
has
small
got
as well, doesn't it? So I was thinking, if you're a sort of grandma or something, you could have the big one and the little one at home.
Yeah.
And then, when your
Yeah.
little one comes over,
Yeah.
you've got a little family
Yeah.
to play with. And then when the little one's not there, she
So
just sits there.
there's sort of nice gifts for all ages.
Yeah.
I mean, like you send back grandma. Grandma would love to have. Somebody bought me one of those. I'd be thrilled.
She's
so
so
beautiful
sweet.
to look at.
Yeah.
So beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big ears.
And she
stuff
just,
like that.
makes you happy.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
It's just the sort of real girly,
She
pretty
matches what
thing.
you're wearing.
She
today,
does.
look. She
Yeah.
probably ought to be sitting next to
Here
you
we go.
rather than me.
I'll sit with her. There we go. I'm happy. I love this dress. This is. I didn't see this. I think this must be new in. Is it?
It is new in, and we've got them in a
It's so
pale
lovely.
blue, like a powder blue as well.
I think these pastels are just stunning at the moment, aren't they? The pastels coming in this spring, like with your jackets
Yeah.
as well.
It's interesting how you put it on as a dress because for me, I would wear it as with leggings.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've got
Got my thick
on.
tights, yeah.
But yeah,
It's quite nice as a dress, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
It
I mean, I
is.
suppose it could be worn either way. Also,
I think
you can see
that's
the
what's
length of
nice,
it, but yeah,
nice about
it's not
that
too short, is it?
style that it can be worn as a dress
Yes.
or as so.
Well, it's almost like two in one, then, isn't it? You've kind of got a two-in-one look. And you
Yeah.
can pop a little gilet or something over this, and it's a really nice
Or
look.
one of our raincoats.
Yeah, one of your own coats.
Lacy raincoat.
Yeah.
Look, that black one that we showed
Yeah,
last
so then
time
you still see
actually
the
really
pink
lovely.
through, wouldn't you, as
Yeah.
well? I love this
Yeah.
colour so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pink is a real happy colour for me. So whenever that's another one, get my pink bunny and my pink dress, and I'm happy. Yeah, so the little things. And then one of the other things I mentioned was about how we can kind of spread that happiness to other people, and I was discussing sort of writing to people, and I don't know, have you kind of received letters or anything over
Do
lockdown?
you know, it's really weird because I've actually written a couple. I wrote to my aunt and to my uncle about some stuff in particular, but it was interesting because at Christmas time I noticed and each to their own, there's no criticism of this at all, but I noticed a lot of people saying all over Facebook, we give to charity, we're not sending Christmas cards this year, so Merry Christmas, we're going to give to charity, which great cause. I mean, I give to charity monthly, so you know. But for me, sending a Christmas card was more important this year than ever. And I always send a little Red Robin letter in mine, just because a lot of like aunts and uncles,
Little catch-up
sadly,
letter.
I don't ever speak to them. So it's just once a year to let them know what's going on. But I just felt this past year, this Christmas just gone, was the most important time.
one. Yeah.
So actually, I am quite mindful of it, but.
Well,
maybe that's
you can always buy Christmas cards from a charity, can't you? You know,
I just
so if you want
sometimes
to
feel
support them.
I know what people are trying to say,
Yes.
but my view, and it is just my view, is that you can give to charity every month.
Yeah.
But at Christmas, it is about those little things
It's the connection
coming through
to
the door.
Yeah.
That actually I think are really important. I get that Christmas cards do cost a lot of charity, and I get that postage stamps are pound a piece
Extortionate
or
now, it's
something.
ridiculous.
So I get that.
Yeah.
But actually, a pound just to put a smile on someone's face.
And you don't have to send it to everyone, do you? But I think, as you say, like the people you don't speak to that much, you know, and it doesn't even have to be Christmas, just any time of year, just a little card or a little letter to someone. And even my kids, like they've missed their grandparents so much, and they sent them, you know, little drawings they'd done and things like that. And then my dad sent a letter to my son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, had a sort of full catch up over the letter.
I wonder whether, has your son ever received a letter before?
Well, no, not really. I mean, you know, he kind of gets the occasional letter, like a card or something for his birthday, but not an actual letter where someone has sat down and written to him. And there's something really special in the idea that someone thought about you and sat down and wrote something to
Took some
you.
time.
Yeah, and kind of, you know, it's showing your love, isn't it? In a really simple way. And I think in a generation where that just doesn't really happen anymore. We don't just get letters. And I don't know if kind of my generation is almost on the brink of that extinction. I still like to write letters to people, and I'll write cards to, you know, great grandma and things like that. A bit like you know, kind of the people you don't see so much. And you know, a phone call's nice, but sometimes it's lovely to have that, you know, that thing you can kind of reread as well. And what I loved about your little watercolour notebooks was that actually
They're actually done by a UK artist.
that's lovely in
Produced in the
itself,
UK,
isn't it? But they can be reused as artwork. I mean,
Yes.
so
Put a little
someone,
frame around it.
put it in a frame, and someone has actually sent you a bit of art.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
No,
just
I
so
think
sweet. I
they-
love the love bugs. And actually, didn't you have a hummingbird one as well? You were just saying about the hummingbird.
There's
weren't you?
lots of different
There's
ones.
elephants,
so there's different ones.
giraffes.
Yeah.
They're just so lovely. So yeah, it's that kind of double hit of a gift. You know, you're sending someone a piece of art, and also just your love, your thoughts.
Well, talking about letters, I've still got letters from an aunt of mine who's no longer with us. My godfather who's no longer with us. You know, I've got a lot of letters that he used to write me when I was younger. I know when my dad was dying, I wrote him a 10-page letter about all sorts of things. And I remember my mum saying, I mean, my dad never sort of really mentioned it, but my mum saying, you know, he just loved getting a letter and loved reading, and he really valued it. And just little things, so it's worth a quid, isn't it?
Well, the written word, I think, is going out of fashion, and it's so sad because, as you say, everyone just emails. No, buy some little cards and send a little, like little note of love.
I just for a minute, I suppose I just want to think about how I feel when a letter or a note comes through the door.
It's exciting for
Yeah.
one thing. It's
Yeah.
lovely, isn't it?
Bill's obviously not so.
No. All the spam. I got a letter the other day. I have no idea how this company got my details. It's very worrying. They're like, "Dear Charlotte, we have just started," and I was like, "How do you know me? Like, don't speak to me like we've had any communication before. I don't need that." And
But
just
someone that knew
but
you.
someone who knows you.
Yeah.
How lovely to get that. Yeah.
I'm still sitting with the fact that your dad wrote your song. I think that's just, to me, priceless. It's like
Oh.
I've got lots of photographs photograph pictures and stuff up on my wall because I love photographs, I love history, and I just think, you know, it's really important to have
family
letters
connection,
and
friend,
connections,
like the love connection,
yeah.
isn't it? It's
And
just
it doesn't cost
connecting across
a
the
great deal.
waves.
And then invite them in this little letter to come shopping at Ruby
Yes,
Lala.
exactly. Yeah, and to celebrate on the 18th.
But yeah, what we are trying to do at Ruby Lala is really support UK business. I think now more than any time it's really, really important. So a lot of things, you know, like the mugs and things, the UK artists, the notebooks and the little notelets. and
Bags.
things like that.
Those silk bags, or the little pouches you've got as well that you saw on your holiday. Was it Scotland? You saw the little pouches?
Yes,
and you
yes,
bought them?
yeah. That was
That's
ages
nice.
ago, years ago, and I remember we stayed in a hotel and I just saw it in the cabinet and I wanted to buy it. And then I've always had it, and it is silk, it's a good silk bag. And then when I opened Ruby Lala, I contacted the lady and said, you know, I'd love to stock them in the shop because they are beautiful.
I bet she was thrilled, so
Yeah,
thrilled that
yeah.
something she'd created was, you know, going to spread that joy
Yeah,
elsewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
So
nice.
yeah, I think that's. Is there anything else that you were thinking?
I was trying to think what else I'd mentioned. So there was that, there was the notelets. Can you remember what else we talked
Probably
about?
forgotten something.
You forgot something. There was
This
five
is why
things.
we just we don't
This is
rehearse
proof.
any of
This is proof that
We
nothing
don't
is
rehearse
scripted.
it or anything. We just sort of.
There was the toys. There was the writing. There was the
Yeah.
apron. The candle.
the candle.
The candle was
And there
one.
was the
And the
gift.
scarf. Yeah, the gift box. There we go. We made it between us.
And we got about 5 minutes.
They always say two heads are better than one, and it's definitely true on this occasion.
I'm not sure about mine, but there you go. I'm not sure mine equates to one head. But there
No,
you go.
well, so yeah, so the candle, I think we both need the candle tonight, clearly. We're both. Get your candle on, go for a nice bath. It's got lovely little tin candles that kind of inspired this bit of the
I am
vlog.
looking for more actually. to
Yeah,
start, 'cause
I think they're
really
very
lovely.
popular, aren't they? And they're, you know, they're kind of almost like they come in their own little holder, so they're safer, I think, than if you just buy, you know, the normal kind
Yeah.
of pillar ones. And they smell lovely.
I know, there's like gin and tonic, all sorts of
Yeah,
different
and I
smells.
linked in the blog to the information about the fact that people, I think it was something like 1 in 3 people have drunk more over lockdown
Oh,
as
really?
a kind of way of de-stressing. And I thought, well, rather than give yourself a headache in the
Yeah,
morning,
yeah.
get your champagne
healthier.
flavoured candle on in the bar,
And
and
what
then
could
just
be.
enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, get your senses tingling in other ways.
And some of those little tinned candles actually are really good because they've got little words on the side. So I know one of the ones we do says in loving memory, and I know a lot of people like candles. I know that's been another thing really, and I know people were doing it
I
like
think it's a
last
thank
week.
you one as well.
You know, when
isn't
it's the
it?
first anniversary of COVID, we were lighting candles. So, you know, in memory of,
Yeah.
in loving memory, I think it's called. And
Really
there's ones
nice
that say
idea.
thank you, so we're getting a lovely gift if you want to.
If you know a nurse or a doctor.
Yeah, yeah. We've got 2 live next door.
Oh, there you go. One for each.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was just a really nice way. I think in your kind of day-to-day life, I think a lot of people, as we were sort of talking about taking that time for yourself and finding the sort of happiness in your moments, just lighting a candle, reading a book, but actually purposefully taking that time rather than going, oh, the kids have been quiet for a minute, quick. Actually going, right, kids, you just go and watch that film. Mummy's just going to take 5 minutes, or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
whoever. I'm just going to
Yeah.
take 5 minutes to myself to read my book. Got my candle on, and it almost signifies, right, I've got that on. This is now my time.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
unless it's an emergency, this
So
is my time.
Ruby Lala can supply the candles, and I'm actually going to have one of the authors from Lockdown Gates, a book that's just been released. It's going to be joining me on the sofa when it's safe. So hopefully, either later this month or beginning of May, to talk a little bit about that. So yeah, so
Fabulous.
I've been doing that. I've been sitting down the last couple of evenings because I've also been trying not to use tablets and stuff after 10 o'clock at night. I was
That's a
reading
good
not to do
idea,
that
yeah.
in bed and stuff. So I've been reading Lockdown Gate with my little candle burning in my bedroom, and actually it was really relaxing.
Brings everything down a
It's
bit, doesn't
amazing.
it? Yeah.
And I find that I don't need the glass of wine then.
Well, yeah, absolutely. No.
I still need the chocolate, but I don't need the glass of wine. But yeah.
Yeah, you've had your champagne hit
Yeah.
through the scent.
And the last thing was the gift.
Yes.
The scarf
Well,
gift
kind of
boxes.
similar to the notes, I suppose. Just we've just missed so many, you know, moments, haven't we? Birthdays, celebrations. You know, if a family member has had a baby, or just being able to send something that just shows that you're thinking of them and that you know you love them, and something that can kind of lift them once they've got it. And
Yeah.
I spotted these beautiful silk scarves, the little scarf ring, and it's all kind of a little gift box, isn't it? And I just thought, how lovely, because then that person's going to A, know that you've thought about them, B, think about you every time they put it on, and C, they can give every outfit that they wear a little lift and just feel good about it.
And we go back to that visual thing as well. For me, visually, seeing something pretty,
Yeah.
nice, and then being able to touch
Yeah.
something that feels nice, it gives you all those feelings.
It
as well,
does, it
doesn't
makes you
It's
so
not
happy, doesn't
just
it? Especially
receiving
something like silk.
Yeah.
It's such a lovely texture, isn't it? It's very sort of sensual, and it really gets your senses going, and it's so lovely. If you've got something like that around your neck, I kind of find myself, you know, sort of touching it. And I also get it with velvet, things like that. My husband can't stand
I
velvet.
know. Do you know
He can't
my
touch
husband
it.
can't? And his son
And
can't.
Milo, my son as well, cannot. And he'll be like, oh, is that velvet? And I'm like, yes, Mummy's put her velvet dress on, so go over there. That's my get away from me outfit. But anything that's kind of got that sort of sensuousness, that kind of gets the senses going, that is so lovely. And I think to be able to give someone that moment, it's sort of luxurious, isn't it? Yeah, it's a lovely thing to be able to give to someone. So.
Well, thanks Charlotte for that. It's been really interesting. When I read your blog, I was just like, oh, that's amazing. You know, you tying in the apron with cooking and things like that. I was really sort of quite impressed with that. I wanted to say what we're going to talk about next week, but I don't think we're that organised.
I don't think we are. No. Sorry.
So we're not going to be able to
My
do that
bad.
because we're all over the place because we've got like 3 days until we open.
So exciting.
So yeah, so is it 4 sleeps? Right, Thursday, Friday.
It's like
Saturday,
Christmas.
Sunday, yeah.
3 sleeps.
So we are all over the place, but we will be back next week with another Me Time with Ruby, and I'll be back on the sofa with Charlotte. And if you've got anything interesting that you feel would link in with Ruby Lala, then please do get in touch. You can email me at admin@rubylala.co.uk, and I'd love to hear from you. So until next week, thanks very much.
Thank
Good Charlotte.
you.
We'll see you next week.
Take care.